Hello everyone and welcome to the Edmonds Racing Preview Show. Toby and Trent are here to chat through what's been a huge week of action. 5 winners from 14 starters, a double on Derby Day, a double on Cup Day, a win for the Queensland Rogues, and even Trent with a Melbourne Cup winning tip from last week's show. Well done.
Gold trip, God bless his soul.
Had something on?
Yeah, a little bit. You got to. It's un-Australian not to have a bet in the cup.
That's right.
Isn't it?
We won't talk about that.
Australian.
Yeah. Toby didn't have a bet in the cup, but you did have 5 winners for the week, and it doesn't get much better than that, does it?
And I backed the wrong one, so put the cue in the rack after Jamaican Rumba, so that was the end of that.
Right, bit scarred, but great week for the ownership group and obviously for the Rogues as well. First starter there winning and over the border.
Yeah, well, she's a Bob's filly, and we'd accepted the week before at Grafton. She drew poorly, but they got washed out anyway, so that was okay. Drew poorly again the other day, and just sort of getting to the stage where she worked so good on the Saturday morning, and she actually mapped okay, even though it didn't work out in the run. She had a very wide run, as you would have seen, and she got carted off the track. And to her credit, she was brave and good, and I suppose the jockey didn't panic either. He sort of, he couldn't help what happened. The filly began well. There was just a ton of riders wanted to kick up underneath her, which they did, and then I think the rider directly to the inside of her knocked her out the road and forced her wider onto the track. And once that all happened, he was able to then go forward, get into a 3-wide line, put her back on the bridle for a majority of the from about the 700 to the 300, I suppose, and then he gave her a little kick and away she went.
Yeah, it was a good win. So excited owners there for the Rogues, and I know you guys are staunch New South Wales supporters, but happy to get a winner in the Queensland colours for the Rogues.
Yeah, well, we live here, we train here, and you play the ball as it lies, don't you?
That's it. Very good. Well, that was the 5th winner from 14 starters for the week. Let's recap the Derby Day double. Storm the Fortress. He kicked things off on Derby Day, winning on debut for the Spice of Thoroughbreds team, and nice to see a horse that you guys bought from the Magic Millions step out and get a result.
Yeah, his first run for us. We actually thought he might take a run or two to pick it up. He was not playing, but he was quite in the early stages. We'd had to put blinkers on him, sort of last prep to get him to trial. Any good? He trialled well at Sunshine Coast, and then he went out for a break. And we thought, he drew beautifully either, so we ran him, but we thought he would actually need blinkers to show his best, but didn't work out that way. There was good speed in the race. A couple went out pretty hard, and he just had a lovely run back on the fence and peeled out and got them. He might have some future by the look of it. They don't often win first up and not go on with it, so I feel he's got a lot to give, a lot more to offer, and might be a nice horse going forward.
It was very soft, wasn't it, in the end?
Soft win in the end, yeah.
Give it to him.
Yeah, it's good. It's good for all those guys. They've been quite patient, and I feel a lot of these. They're all 3 now, so they've been in and out and a heap of times. So you start to see them get to the races now and perform and run well, and they'll find their level.
Yeah, well, that's what I guess we've been saying in recent weeks and months. Sort of this is that crop from the Magic Millions 2 years ago that they're now just turned 3 and coming through the ranks.
Yeah, it's unusual. We didn't get a real precocious one, so we've had to wait for the majority of them. But all good, and you can't. What's the word?
It's been a tough wait.
It's been a tough
owners have been patient.
Yeah, they've been very patient, but realistically, time does these horses the world of good, and hopefully they can go on from that.
Yeah, and they're only 3, aren't they? So it's not like
they're only babies, so there's plenty of time.
Yep. No, well done. And then Boho Beauty made it a double for the stable and the birthday boy, Andrew Mallion, who's ridden a few winners for you guys this week and won a Class 2 and bounced back to form after a bit of a head scratcher, I guess, first up.
Yeah, she was, fair to say, probably underdone first up. No blinkers applied and just travelled good and didn't do a thing. Whether or not that was fitness or just not liking going inside horses, not sure.
In between horses, sort of, yeah.
She didn't put in. So a little bit of added fitness, blinkers went on, and she won by half a length. But if they win another 50, 60 metres, she wins by a length or more at least. It was dominant effort, and just good to see her back. We were thinking of waiting to put the blinkers on, but thought just on the back of her ordinary effort first up, we needed to see her do it, and she did. So good effort, and she's obviously back. Her attitude's improving all the time. Been well noted. She's had barrier problems and been, well, especially first up, she was very naughty going into the gates. None of that carry on Saturday, and mind on the job, switched right on and done the job.
Yeah, good win. And we'll talk about her more because you may be backing her up this weekend. And then Cup Day rolled around. Deep Mystique was another debutant. Open at double figure odds. Got the head down right on the line to score for the Archer Park team.
Yeah, she's a filly with very fast filly, and it was good to see her, just end up with that beautiful run behind them. She drew softly, so she was always going to get a nice run, and like she ran into a bit of traffic at the top of the straight. She got shoved back in behind the leader, went to go up the inside. Then the leader sort of closed that door, so then he had to peel back and get in between the leader and the horse that actually bumped her in the first place. And she stretched out good. She had no weight, I suppose. That's the big thing. And but she beat horses that have raced and performed, and I think in town as well. So. And
the favourite won its last two.
Yeah, and to my eye, what we knew, she's a gross fat filly that's going to only improve with racing, and for her to do that on Tuesday was a terrific effort. So, she might be a filly with a future by the look of it. Possibly keep her at that short course at the moment, let her progress through the provincials and see how she where she gets to.
Yeah, okay, another one to follow there. Well done.
Prize money too, 29 grand.
Yeah,
how
good is that?
Provincial meeting.
Yeah,
it's a good slab, and
not to be sneezed at.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yep.
Fantastic money.
Yeah, no, well done to everyone there. That's it's a great result, and maybe just the fun's just started. And then Diva Da Vinci that made the double, 4-year-old first starter for the Tricolours team. So the syndicates are pretty happy this week. All syndicates, apart from Boho Beauty, but Tricolours another winner.
So a little bit of a backstory with her. She obviously has a nice level of ability. She had no luck with barriers. She was a rogue, or whatever you want to call her, down south.
Very naughty.
She's very, very naughty. I think Joe Pride had her initially, you'll see in her form, 8 trials before making her debut. A couple were with Joe, one with Kevin Robinson, I think, at Nowra. Terry Robinson, and then us. But Matt Dunn out at Bow Desert, we sent her out to him, and that's why she come up here to try. It was basically last-ditch effort. If she wasn't to get in the gates and whatever, she'd be retired or moved on. And he's done wonders with Boho Beauty.
Same.
Zumanji, Boho Beauty. We've had 4 fillies go out there, and they've come back and been really good. So he's fixed them and done us a huge, solid, fantastic horseman, and basically got her right and got her going. And we've put the finishing touches on her sort of after all that, and won well, bang out, didn't stuff around the king, and
way too speedy.
First 600 metres was pretty pedestrian, had it quite soft, and then give a good scoot, and was too strong. So showed a good amount of speed for a So You Think filly. She, for mine, looks like body type and everything looks like she's going to get her a bit further, but she was just really speedy. I think she's going to be better with a sit. If something wants to go a bit quicker than her, and she can relax and then finish off, that'll be straight to her liking. And it's just good. James and everyone have been superbly patient, obviously, and waited 3 years for that result. So they're all stoked.
Must be very satisfying for everyone involved. So
I thought in the same race, Tioga Pass was good.
He was
good. He's a little fella that for Diane Bill Wilson sent down to us, and we spoke about him last week, I think, because he was in and we scratched him. But he looked like he was going to challenge her at one stage. He's got a little tired, so he'll improve a stack with that run. And he had a lovely run just behind them too. Softish run, come out and went to go on with it, but just was found wanting with condition a little bit. So
I think what we said pre-race was pretty accurate, wasn't it? 1200 first up for him might have been a bit of a test, but we had to run because he drew so soft.
But both those went good. Really happy with both those.
Another couple worth following then.
Yeah, for sure.
Very good. And then Maroon Magic just rounding that one out, but obviously that was a great result, and snuck over the border for that one.
Yeah. So we just spoke about the Bob's Money's So what was it to the winner? 20 odd
I think
grand
it
to the
was
winner.
about- I think she took home 19,000.
19,000. So it's a maiden at Grafton. It was a. Not going to get too excited. She won. She did it. Not she did a bit wrong. She was sort of drew barrier 9, so that could have went that way, and it did. We were sort of hopeful she could have left the gates as she did in the trial, and she did to a certain extent, but didn't have the speed or tempo to clear them and control it like we hoped. But probably don't see that often. Like a filly like that, like. Could have went the other way, could have been very, very disappointing with the run 3 and 4 wide, and then to be able to keep going.
Stewart's footage is
it's pretty ugly.
Yep.
I thought so, and Andrew Mallion gave her a good rap after the race. He said he's hadn't sat on one that won like that for quite a while, so that was good. And and we spoke about this on our show a number of times about these younger horses. Quite pedestrian early. She was one of them. She was hot and speedy and looked like, she was a racy going type thing that, mightn't have a great future, but with the time given and the patience of Steve Brown, because I know we took her to the trials at Sunny Coast one day and we were adamant we wanted a fair surface to get some sort of guide on how if she was any good or not. I think
she had been through that time where
the
last 12 months
really wet period, and you wouldn't believe it. It ended up being heavy. The track wasn't heavy then it rained on the morning or something, so we'd got all the way up there, and Steve just rang and said, "Look, scratch it, please scratch it. I don't want to have a bad experience." And so congratulations to those guys that are looking after their ownership group and that big pool of owners they've got.
Yep.
I think there's 4,000. I said 1,000, but I think there's a lot more than that
a little
in
bit
it.
of post-race excitement from you.
Well, 1,000's a fair number, and 4's even.
Yeah, well, it's a
bigger.
bit of a it's a collective group, isn't it?
is,
So you just throw out a number.
So anyway, full credit to them, and I think the Queensland Rogues are well in front in the premiership.
Doing very well.
If
Smashing
that's
them,
what it is.
So you contributed to that tally.
The Brisbane, so that's our first runner for them, which is good. So got off to a good start, and the rest of the team are doing a good job with all the other horses as well. Larrikin Rogue was good last Wednesday, I think it was. Rob Heathcote's got a couple, Muncie's got a couple, and Tony Gollan's got a couple going quite well. So don't know what the prize is at the end of it, but hope it's okay.
Well, I think it's just lots of great experiences for these owners, isn't it?
Good,
And obviously, as we said, you guys have had a lot of syndicates win this week, so lots of happy owners. Well done. And I guess there's a lesson in this for all of us, isn't it, about the patience? I mean, everyone wants a 2-year-old, but we're only talking early 3-year-olds, and they're getting the results.
Yeah. So patience is a big thing.
Patience rewarded. Okay, well, let's see. It's going to be a hard week to top, but see if you can find a winner this weekend. You've got 5 runners set to step out, 5 acceptors anyway. Saturday, Doomben, you've already spoken about Boho and her good win, potentially on the quick backup. It's a fillies and mares benchmark 70, but barrier 10 to contend with.
Yeah, it looked like a super race for her, and we don't often back horses up, but she just done so well that we wanted to give consideration to it, and it's there for good prize money. As you deepen into the summer carnival, you're not going to get a crack for the good Saturday prize money in that greater race because they go back to the midweeks and whatnot. So would have loved to have drawn a barrier. Our usual Saturday Metropolitan barrier draws, 10 of 10, fantastic. So she's done well during the week. It's just we've got to pour over the form over the next 24 hours before we make a call.
Okay.
Unsure as of yet.
Mr. Mallion, the informed Mr. Mallion aboard if she does go around.
Yes, correct.
All right, Tobe. Saturday at Gold Coast, Pretty As drops back from the 1100 for a maiden over the 900. Loomed up last start and looked potentially like she was going to win. Is the drop back in trip, is that the key with her?
It wasn't quite designed like that. It was more designed around the owner had a heap of his mates coming and wanted a day at the races. So
right.
It was due to run last week and then somewhere else as well.
Cup day.
And then when he said, "No, I've got all my mates coming," so we waited for this meeting, and then he ended up. It's the wrong weekend anyway. They're not coming till next weekend. So, anyways,
So you know what happens? She wins now.
Yeah.
This is a perfect race for her.
So he rang up and he said, "Oh no, I've got that week." buggered up. He said, it's next week, not this week. But run it anyway. I said, okay.
So the
So
challenges you face as trainers,
Yeah.
you're not only trying to
Yeah,
win
trying to
races, but
win-
you're trying to keep everyone happy.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know
anyway,
that.
this
Wow.
could be a silver lining because it wasn't a bad effort, was it?
No, it's a good effort. And she's come on nicely. She come to us and she was really banged up and hot and that. And she sort of she settled down a bit. Her works good. She's quite sharp. 900 tempo. That's a little concerning, but
Whether they go too quick.
The way she banged out the other day, though, we wanted her to be ridden a bit steadier, and she.
yeah, probably give her a good start up and
Yeah, right.
And so look, I think it's the right race. I don't think she's drawn that.
She's drawn 8.
Ideal, like you like to draw 1 to 5 at the 900 here, but anyway, it is what it is.
Okay. Well,
But you know, if she steps away and gets that right run, she'll be able to beat.
okay. Hard
Can't
to
afford
beat.
mistakes.
Fair assumption, I
Okay.
think.
Can't afford mistakes. And 900s they're tricky, you know.
Yeah, sure. Oh, well, fair bit of context around Pretty As anyway with the
with the
programming
ownership.
as well and the ownership. All right, Trent, Preach
Phil.
is entered for the, Curly, well done, the benchmark 65 handicap over the 1100 in the Mexican colours and ran home nicely last start. This looks like a good option third up here.
It does, yeah. Tegan got to the front on her ride in his last race and just dropped anchor in the 1,000-metre race at Ipswich. He pulled ridiculously hard back in behind them. I think 1,100 tempo suits better. He'll be able to get up on speed and roll. To be fair, I'd be disappointed if he got nutted on Saturday. I think he's my best. I'll just put it out there.
Throwing it out there, yeah.
Not a great deal else to say, really. Soft barrier, home track, premiership jockey on, roll forward and make him chase.
Okay, sounds like
He's,
a pretty
and he's
good
fit
push
enough
to
now
me.
too, third up, right? So he's rock hard fit and ready to go.
And pretty
Yep.
brave last start in between horses and
He-
ducking and weaving.
He was good. The speed wasn't as frantic as you probably anticipated. Winner come down the outside with a free-flowing run and he had to come back to the inside. Michael dropped his stick with 100 to go.
Got hit at
And-
he got the stick knocked out of his hand.
Yeah,
Didn't
well,
drop it. So.
We didn't have the stick for the last
Yeah,
X amount
right.
of time. So
Okay.
still, it was a good effort and he fought on bravely, but just found one better. And I think tomorrow can win.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, good luck to the team there with Preach. And then Tobe, Control Chaos, another first starter here. Good name, Control Chaos.
Yes.
Stepping out in the maiden plate over the 1200 and has trialled a couple of times at Bow Desert, but they were those wet sort of track trials. What are we expecting here?
Yeah, so her last trial she was very disappointing. But she pulled up with a foot abscess. She had a 3-legged lame when she come home. It actually, you know, it must have just stirred it up and brought it to a head, which was good. That tied it up pretty quickly after a few days. Drawn badly, so you know I wouldn't see her getting. She doesn't map well at all, but she's nearly got to go around, if I can say that.
Okay.
So we'll send her around tomorrow, just ride a little patiently and see what happens. But she's galloping well. Just got bad barrier, that filly, and will improve with the run, I feel.
Okay.
I think we've accepted with her like 4 times now and she's drawn
Drawn terrible.
16, 14,
No joy.
18. Just
Because you want to give them a good experience first time out if you can.
First time, always looking to give a good experience so it doesn't stuff them or gut them for their next couple of runs.
Yeah, sure.
And it just makes it hard when you keep drawing the car park. But she's in a similar vein to sort of Maroon Magic. You've got to go around.
She's at a stage where you
been
can't.
waiting in the wings for a long time.
Yep.
So we can't wait any longer.
Okay, well, exciting for ownership group there if she does go around for her first start. And then rounding out the weekend, Clover's Prince. You've got the Lucky Clover attire on and
Sure do.
entered for the cutest 3-year-old maiden, so good prize main offer again over the 1,000. Good run over 900 first up.
Yeah, probably peaked on his run a little bit. It's funny to say, but track was a little bit gluey. Looked like he was going to win. Tough race. Tony Gollan's got a couple of first starters in there that have drawn low and that have trialled well. So our fella would need to be right on his game to be winning.
And he's
there,
a
I
big
think.
weight. He's only a little
And
horse,
he's just
59 kilos.
59, you know, against these unraced horses. He's this big. He's carrying top weight. So I'd be happy if he could run a place and then we can sort of assess elsewhere with him because those two of Tony Gollan's look pretty smart. Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, nice bit of context there for Clover. So, best bets, you've already shown your hand.
Preach, yes.
Preach. And Tobe.
Oh, I've got to go Preach as well. Got the head start on me again, but that's okay.
He's
Yeah,
flown out of
As
the
long as we
gates.
keep trying to tip winners, that's
Well, that's
all there
it.
is to
And,
it.
you know, you've
But
been
I put
doing
it out
well.
the owners at 4 o'clock this morning, so how good.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Declared it
yeah,
already?
Yeah, in case they don't see that.
Okay.
See that
Well,
before
that
the
was
show's out.
smart play because sometimes people don't
I think
like
it'll
that if they see
get
it
a
on the
bit
show
cranky, yeah.
first, do they?
Exactly, yeah. We got a bit of that last week, actually.
Did you? Okay.
It's okay.
We'll leave that one. We'll park that one. But okay, well, it's been a great week. So let's hope the winning run continues.
Correct.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Good luck, guys.